What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's good to see you all again. Today we're going to touch on AMC and Ape just briefly. We're going to look at some of the indications out there at what Ape might open up at. We'll look at the 8K filing just to see what Ape's for, and we're going to consider some things. It's not always the most popular opinion on this channel, but we try to talk real, so that's what we're going to do. If you don't mind, you can hit the like button. You're always welcome to subscribe. We're not talking about finances, so I'm not giving you a disclaimer, but we're going to get right into the information from what I am working on and what I'm breaking down. And I think it's going to be of interest to you. I think it should be of interest to you. Like I said, I'm not your confirmation bias page. I am invested in AMC, and I want to know what's going to happen with my money. And I think you do too. So let's look at it. AMC stock. All right, we're going to play a hypothetical. Let's say you have 100 shares right now. We're hypothetically trading at $20. Right now you have 0 shares of Ape because it doesn't exist. So you're sitting comfortable at your 20 bucks. Maybe you're doing just fine. You're happy with the way things are moving right now. Everything is on the right direction. Actually, we were climbing right into earnings before anybody even knew anything about Ape stock. So Ape stock had nothing to do with the price action and the movement that we were seeing, breaking into those new levels of support and being able to carry on with Gamma. But from there, now after the meeting, we have 100 shares of AMC stock still, right? And then come, August 19th or even the 22nd, whenever the trading starts, you're going to have 100 shares of Ape stock. And I have it down here at $10 and $10. Now, the minimum it could be would be $4 to be tradable. So to me, if it was $4, that would be perfectly fine, right? I'm willing to give up, say, what would that be? 20% of an AMC position if it was at $20 the day that the whole split, whatever you want to call it, dividend goes down. But I don't know if I'm willing to be too optimistic about a 50-50. Now, why would it be a 50-50? Nobody really knows except for the man himself, so let's go to the man. More FUD work. Ultimately, market trading determines the ongoing prices of AMC shares and Ape units. They are very similar in nature, so logic says that initially the AMC share should approximately trade for 50%. And the Ape unit, 50% of where shares trade just before the dividend. So 50%. So that, to me, that's saying he's doing basically a 1-for-1 split. It's a 50-50. If it closes at 20 bucks, you're going to have $10 for what Ape is trading at and $10 for what AMC is trading at. Now, that's not the greatest because you already have been fighting so long of a float of 516,820,595 shares. And it's been heavily manipulated, and you've been fighting and fighting and fighting. Now, because he couldn't get his vote to go through to dilute AMC, he comes up with this and tries to sugarcoat it like this is exactly what we want. Now, are you going to get a count? I don't know, because I think by the time they figure out whose accounts these are in, whose accounts these are not in, Ape's already going to be out there trading. And are you going to be able to trade it? Are you not? Who knows? We've seen this go down before. We've seen it go down with BBIG and Tide. Tide, you saw it sit at $10 and nobody could do anything because they either weren't in their accounts, or they just didn't have the ability to trade it, and they just watched it go down and down and down. So could that happen? Yeah, it could happen. So now if you get, a 50% cut on your AMC position, but you get these free ones, so you're equal money, say August 22nd, right? Whenever it opens up, no harm, no foul, as long as you got $10 and $10 if it settled at 20 bucks whenever they offered that dividend at close. But now the problem is you're fighting to survive in 2 different places. And where is the community going to be? Is it still going to be with AMC? Is it going to be with Ape? Is it going to be split? Are you going to be, half the money fighting here, half the money fighting here? And you got another 516,820,595 shares in the play now. So is this going to be shorted right away? Probably not, because I don't think they can short it for a certain period of time. You're not going to have options. So It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to go one way or the other, but it might be a little bit more of a fair playing field for the first week as long as retail can trade this thing. And over here, what's going to happen, whenever we see it go back down, or is it going to be a buying frenzy because people are going to mentally think, well, I've been in, here's my chance to get in at $10 again. I missed that the first time. Possibly, but we're going to need, for every, dollar that Ape drops, you need AMC to go up one just to be able to continue that break even. So if AMC goes up $2 and Ape goes down $2, you really didn't make anything that day. You just broke even. So you're going to need them both to be going in the right direction, or one of them to extremely overpower and base at a point that the other stock no longer becomes relevant. Now, why is there value in Ape stock? That's my question. There's not. There's just not. They're taking all of the value from AMC because that's where you're getting your value for the Ape stock, right? You had 100 shares at $20. They're taking that. They're giving you 100 shares now at $10, but they're going to make your AMC position worth $10 if we're doing 20. So we're just basing the math off of 20. I don't know. It could be, any number out there, but you're just dividing it in half is what you're doing. So at that point, there's what's the purpose of Ape stock? Now, unpopular opinion, not confirmation bias. Let's just go straight to the 8K. If you see where I have it highlighted here, it says this new AMC preferred equity gives AMC a currency that can be used in the future to strengthen our balance sheet, including paying down debt or raising fresh equity. So it is basically a way that AMC has managed to get around their vote. Like it or not, that's what they did. They couldn't get the additional dilution into AMC, so they create something, they put it on a silver platter, and once you start scraping that silver, you realize that it might just be spray paint. Because whenever you dig deeper and you look into all of the tweets that Adam Aaron's sending out, he's actually kind of admitting that it is dilution to one degree or another. It may not be directly in AMC, but it's definitely at the expense of its shareholders, because you're the one that's getting the money taken out of your AMC and added into this Ape position that he can dilute. He has 4 billion more of these things that he can throw out there at any time to use to pay down debt, to sell into the market, whatever he wants to do. So they need to... it's kind of frustrating, actually. So what do you want to do? Do you want to pay off a company's debt? Is that why you got in here? Is because you really love movie theaters so much that you want to throw all of your money into paying off a company's debt so that they can do that on your dime by diluting, or diluting half of the position that they so-called gave to you, which they didn't really give to you because they took it from your AMC position, and now they're going to give out 4 billion shares over time to companies, in lieu of cash. Like, here you go, you can have 1 million of these. Here, you can have 1 million of these Ape shares. Here, you can have 1 million of these Ape shares. And it's just not the best. So, Adam knows that once this thing squeezes, the hype goes away, right? We've been talking about AMC for 2 years now, or who knows, give or take, and they have a lot of spotlight on them. They have a lot of interest. They have a lot of action. They got a lot of free publicity. And some of you guys, after the squeeze, just going to walk away and be like, I ain't buying another AMC share. And Adam knows that. So he's trying to save himself. He's doing what's for the company. He doesn't care. He might act like he cares about the shareholders, but his number one job is to make sure that the company's profitable. And that's what he's doing. Now, I don't know if I 100% agree with the way that this went about, because like I said, we were finally moving in the right direction. The company was starting to make money. It's not something that they were gonna just blow out their debt in one earnings quarter by any means, or in a year, but it seems like he's now found a way to try to speed things along to get his debt paid off before this all goes away. He needs to get that paid off while there's still a lot of action and attention into the company and into the stock, so that there's a little bit of more maybe enticement into wanting to take an ape share, so to speak, instead of actually having, $1 or $5 or $10 or wherever it's trading at. Like, look, these things are bouncing all over the place. It could be worth more if you just take the ape share. So I'm really actually kind of wondering what I'm going to be doing with my AMC position. Now, I've been in 801. I've been in it for a long time, but you always want to watch what the insiders are doing, what they're doing with the company, and how their decisions are affecting the overall play. Now, if I don't know, I haven't made my decision yet because I want to see how this starts to play out. But in the long term, I don't see how fighting a now 1 billion float count is going to be any easier for what the initial goal was, especially in 2 tickers, spread across 2 tickers. How is it going to be any easier? He's got long-term vision with Ape Share that, I think he said 3 to 5 year vision. So do you really want to sit here for 3 to 5 more years and watch a line? You might, but I don't. I don't. And I don't know if a lot of people do either. They don't need your vote to be able to dilute Ape. Ape has nothing to do with your vote. They can authorize those shares at any time they want to. Now, it's not going to affect AMC because they know that 80, 90, who knows, maybe even 100% of AMC is held by retail. So in that regard, they could not do anything. We had them tied. We had it locked down. They just had to do what every other business in the world has to do, is make themselves profitable by doing business, not by coming up with a obscure idea on how to really continue to use their shareholders to their advantage. And I kind of feel like that's what's happening right now, is they're taking advantage of their shareholders. They think that maybe we aren't smart or we don't catch on to this type of thing, but if it's a 50-50, like this tweet says, Adam Aaron just took $10 away from you to pay for his debt. In one way or another, in a roundabout way, in time, you lost that $10 to pay for his debt. So we got to see what's going to happen. I don't know. Now you're looking at, you're looking for both of these to hold a pretty good level. Right, $10 was a fight just not too long ago in AMC to stay above, and now it might get cut back down to 10, and we're going to have a company that has no real business other than just took money from its shareholders to try to be able to, pay off their debt. There's no company that's making money in Ape. It's just sucking money out of AMC, and now it's worth 50% of AMC. I don't think so. Not in my head. No, what's Ape do? What's Ape produce? What does Ape have anything to do with 50% of AMC's business? That's my question to you. Have you thought about it? What is your take on it? What do you think? I know we're looking for a share count, and I think by the time that's all figured out, it's already too late. All of these shares for Ape are already going to be out there by the time you're sending emails to your broker or whoever that didn't show up. I didn't get my 10 Ape shares. Well, you know what? It's too late. They're going to already be out there in the market trading higher, lower, whatever it is. I don't know. But it's something to keep an eye on, and I think you're going to want to keep a very close eye on this because while he acts like he's working for us, I don't really 100% agree with that, and I think he's having to come on here and defend himself on Twitter because there are some very smart people that are involved in this play and that have been involved in this play, and I do not think that they are 100% thrilled. I would say that they are not even 50% thrilled, right? That would be my tweet, is I couldn't even give him 50 of my thrill points there. So I just wanted to talk about that because I don't always give the most popular opinion, but I do give an opinion which I think makes sense whenever you look into what the CEO is saying, what the 8Ks are saying, and what the possibilities are for actually, we play devil's advocate, the downside. Now you're fighting two different tickers with the exact same float as you had before. You don't think corruption's going to go right into Ape? I mean, why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't the corruption that was trying to bring AMC down swing right over into Ape? There's no reason that it would not just hammer that thing down. So let's see what happens, guys. It's going to be an interesting week. It's going to be an interesting couple of weeks, actually, because I do think AMC might climb a little bit on possibly some hype. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to maybe want to get a position so that they can have some of the Ape shares whenever they first come out, and who knows, maybe it'll be an interesting IPO and you guys will be able to make some money off of Ape and go right back into AMC. I mean, the votes are equal as of right now, so what does it matter? If Ape runs, I might personally just dump Ape off because it has no value to me, and I could throw it back into AMC, and it's still the same amount of voting, right? So it's not going to change anything as far as I can see, whether I hold 2,000 shares of AMC or if I hold 1,000 AMC and 1,000 Ape, I still get 2,000 votes. So I would rather control the company that has the money tied to it, not the one that's trying to pay down debt off of my money. But that's just the way that I'm thinking right now, and I think some of you guys are probably thinking similarly. Maybe some of you are not. Maybe some of you don't care. You're not even thinking about it, but it's definitely something that you need to think about because it's affecting your pocketbook. And we're just going to see what happens. The only good thing is if somehow this all plays out perfectly and there's just not enough Ape shares to go around and it somehow gets, tied up right away. But I don't think that will be the case. I think that, if they can make synthetics in one, why can't they make synthetics in another? So we were just gonna sit here and see what happens over the next 2 weeks, guys, but I hope it works out. I hope that there is more of a plan here than to just ride off of their shareholders' backs and to go behind their backs and come up with something that they can present on a silver platter and say like, hey, look, we got your share count. No, they got their dilution is what they got. They got a way to pay down their debt is what they got, and they got that through their shareholders in a roundabout way, and there's just no other way to put it out there. You can put shiny wording on it, but we just call it like it is. So thanks for coming back again, guys. I hope you're having a great weekend. I will see you guys on Monday. You're always welcome to like the channel, you're subscribed to the channel, or leave a comment if you have some additional thoughts. I'd be happy to hear them. Otherwise, as always, stay golden, people, and may your accounts stay green.